While we will dig deeper into the topic of hotel pricing in Module 4, it's time to introduce you to some of the most common pricing practices in the hotel industry. There are 6 major pricing methodologies that have evolved throughout revenue management. Hotels may use one or a combination of the following: single rate, weekday weekend, seasonal, bar or rack rate, bar by length of stay, and open pricing. Back before the airlines developed yield management, hotels made minimal manipulations to their prices. Initially, hotels offered the same room and same room type for the same prices every day of the year. This was called single rate pricing. Many properties and markets still use weekday weekend. This concept of pricing goes back to the business versus leisure traveler split. While this basic segmentation and pricing strategy was useful previously, the complexity of the market has changed to a point where hotels using this are leaving money on the table. Hotels that are using seasonal pricing means that they are looking at the calendar year and grouping together months in terms of how they price their rooms. A good example of seasonal pricing would be a resort property in Thailand. You might have a seasonal rate for 2 or 4 time periods a year: high or low season, or summer, fall, winter, and spring. In its original form, it's not very dynamic. Seasonal pricing is still very common with resort and some luxury destinations as well. The red here represents that it's probably the least of the dynamic pricing options out there in the market today. The best available rate, or BAR, formerly rack rate, was a pricing shift that occurred in the late 90s as digital distribution increased after the turn of the century. The way BAR works is that you have one moving rate, or BAR, and then all your other room types, discounts, and packages are statically derived off of that singular rate. For example, if BAR is $200 US, the discount might be 10% off, or $180 US. If BAR falls to $100 US, the discount would automatically become $90. This was an improvement over seasonal pricing, the initial solution to help manage rates as distribution complexity increased in the internet age. But it does not provide a fully dynamic solution. By linking all prices to one best available rate and moving them up and down in lockstep, hoteliers are limiting the amount of price points they have available to meet demand. This limits revenue potential and why we shaded this approach yellow. The bar by length of stay, as well, has the means of being semi-dynamic. It enables for some ability to fluctuate the rates, but also still has those derived rates based off of one master bar rate. So really there's only one rate that's changing. Bar by length of stay means that a guest will be paying different prices per room night based on the length of stay at the property. For example, if a guest is to stay 1 night, the rate may be $500. If the guest stays 2 nights, it would be $450 US a night, or $900 in total revenue. If the guest is to stay 3 nights, it would be $400 a night, or $1,200 in total revenue. While this could be great to cover shoulder days, or the ones surrounding high demand periods, it's generally done through restrictions, which can limit profitability by over-discounting days that shouldn't be. We'll cover this more later. Bar by length of stay encourages guests to stay longer. However, you may not want to always give long-stay guests a discount. Bar by length of stay was the best strategy at a hotel's disposal until full open pricing became an option. The hotel industry is finally reaching a point where technology can allow for fully dynamic pricing. Open pricing is something that's become much more popular in the hospitality industry over the past years as integrations between revenue systems, property management systems, central reservation systems have made dynamic, real-time pricing a reality. Unlike the bar approaches, which has one master rate that fluctuates at static differentials between segments, open pricing enables each channel and segment to be independently priced based on the latent demand for each of those channels and segments. Open pricing provides the opportunity to yield all channels, segments, rates, room types, and promotions independently instead of manipulating prices through static derivatives and restrictions. Rather than closing channels or turning off discounts, open pricing enables those channels to be kept open and yielded up or down to match actual demand. By raising a rate, a hotel is restricting the number of customers through price rather than through assumptions from turning off channels or discounts. This ensures that you're getting the right customer for the right price, as Robert Cross mentioned, and maximizing your overall revenue. The goal of revenue management is to take the most profitable customer at the right time. Of course, this depends on how close a hotel is to the actual stay date. The hotel's pace and pickup and various other data sets really matter, but proper segmentation, forecasting, and open pricing will enable you to do just that. We will return and discuss each of these approaches, as well as give you an introduction to how price plays in the larger picture of revenue strategy in more detail in Module 4.